In this video, you will learn how to split a field in SnapPlus. You can split a field into multiple parts or strips based on what your needs are. When you split a field, you are essentially creating copies of the field along with its corresponding soil samples and tests. After you are finished with the process described in this tutorial, you will still need to go to the Soils tab and select each of the new fields and assign the correct sample number to each. There is one very important thing to remember about splitting. Fields are first split in the desktop application of SnapPlus, then uploaded to SnapMaps, where you can then draw the new boundaries. Splitting a field is considered an advanced task, so make sure to take a snapshot of your farm before starting. That way, you can always go back to the original if something doesn't turn out right. Let's get started. In SnapPlus, open the Field screen and click on the field you'd like to split. Once it is highlighted, go to Tools and Split a Field. Make sure the correct field is selected in the drop-down menu. Then select the number of fields that you want to exist as a result of the split. Then click Apply to make the split. You should now see the new split fields in the field list. They will have the original name with a bracketed notation SO1, SO2, etc. after. Now let's pause here to look at the active column. This is very important to the next step in SnapMaps. Before you split the field, this box is checked since the field is active. When you split the field, the new fields have the box checked, but the original field is not checked. So what this means is that when you are in SnapMaps, the original field boundary will not be visible and you will have to redraw the field boundaries from scratch. Let's call this option 1. There's also a second option that allows you to use the original field boundary and cut it up in SnapMaps. Let's call this option 2. For both options, you should consider if you want to rename the fields. Doing it now might make it easier to keep track of them. To rename the field, click on the field name, then on the button with the 3 dots, and enter a new name in the dialog box. Okay, so now we are ready to go to the next step in SnapMaps. Let's do option 1 first. We are going to upload the newly split fields to SnapMaps, but not the original field. So make sure the new fields are active and the original is inactive. Now go to the SnapMaps tab and click Upload. Once the upload is complete, click on Website. Once SnapMaps is open, zoom in to where the new fields need to be drawn. One recommended tip is to have the field snapping tool checked. This will make drawing the boundaries much easier since the newly split fields will likely share a common boundary. Do this by going to Tools and checking the box labeled Field Snapping. Now go to Draw a Feature and select Field. Draw the boundary of one of the new fields, and then select the name of the new field from the drop-down menu and click Save the Field. Now when you draw the second field, if you have field snapping checked, hover over the other field boundary until it snaps, and then draw and save the other split field. Now we need to get the new boundaries back into the desktop. So let's do that by going back to SnapPlus and clicking Download. Your new fields should have their updated data visible. It's a good idea to check that the field data is correct. Click Import highlighted cells to import the new data into SnapPlus. Next, check the Restrictions tab and review the field data. Click Import. Now when you go to the Fields tab, you should see the new fields in the list with updated information. If the field's acres were not updated, you can update it manually by clicking on the cell and typing in the acreage. If you need to confirm the actual size of the field, go to the Spreadable Acres button and click. Make note of the cropping acres listed for the field, then click Cancel. Now click on the cell for the field and type in the correct acreage. Do this for each of the new fields. Okay, so now let's do an example of option 2. This is the one where we keep the original field active when we import into SnapPlus. Let's start with splitting the field. Then renaming the fields. Now, let's click on the Active button for the original field. Now go to the SnapMaps tab and click Upload. Once the upload is complete, click on Website. In option 2, you can click on the Fields option to go to the original field's location since it is still active. Now you need to go to the Drawing Tools and then Edit Features and select Split Fields. A warning box will pop up to let you know that you should have started the split process on the desktop. Now the Split Field tool is active. Click within the original field boundaries to select the field. Now with the cursor outside the boundary, click once to set a point. Then, inside the field boundary, single-click along the split line with as many clicks as it takes to define the boundary, and double-click outside of the field to finish the split boundary. Now go up to the Split Field dialog box and click Split Field. The field is now split. Next, we need to assign the correct field names. Go to Drawing Tools, Edit Features, and select Field. Click within the field boundary to select the field, then use the drop-down menu to assign the correct field name. Do this for all of the new fields. Now we are going to repeat what we did in option 1 to get the new boundaries back into the desktop. Go to SnapPlus and click Download. Your new fields should have their updated data visible. Check that the field data is correct. Click Import highlighted cells to import the new data into SnapPlus. Next, check the Restrictions tab and review the field data and make sure the new fields are highlighted. Click Import. Now when you go to the Fields tab, you should see the new fields in the list with the updated information. Edit the field acres if needed, like we did with the first option. A quick recap of the two options. In the first option, we split the field in SnapPlus, left the original field inactive, then drew the boundaries of our new fields in SnapMaps. In the second option, we split the field in SnapPlus, reactivated the original field, then split the original field in SnapMaps. Remember that for both options, you will need to go to the Soils tab and make sure the samples are reassigned to the correct fields. This is the end of the tutorial. Thanks for watching and good luck splitting fields in SnapPlus.